Hey everyone, it's Jess from Capella Wellness. How are you? I'm here with day 4 of your 12 days of Christmas. Today, I'm going to do something very simple. I'm not going to pull any tarot. I am going to pull a wellness detox card at the end, but that's going to be it. But I thought I would talk about what I do for my wellness routine. I've had a lot of people ask me, since I've been home, I've had family members and other people asking me, what are you doing? How are you maintaining your weight? And why do you look so much younger? That type of thing. So in case you didn't know, some of you don't know, but I'm 42 and a half. And the other day when I got my hair done last week, the hairdresser thought I was 25 and she dropped her jaw. But there's also good genes in the mix. If you look at the other women in my family, they do not look their age. But because I am wellness, I'm all about wellness. That's why I'm Capella Wellness and not Capella Tarot. I thought I'd talk about my own routine. Don't mind my son. For those of you who watched my lives before, now you can hear my son going crazy in the background because I'm doing this in front of the tree to change up the scenery. But anyway, I thought I would talk about what I do on a daily basis so I can share with you guys, and then you can incorporate whatever it is that you want. I'll throw in some other tips. You don't have to follow these things. It's a matter of how it works for you. Okay, so for me, the first thing that I do in the morning is I do a meditative stretch for about 7 minutes, 42 seconds to an instrumental song. I've been listening to the same song for the past 3 years. It works for me. You can change up the song, but no lyrics. I recommend no lyrics in it whatsoever. It doesn't have to be 7 minutes. It's just that the song really speaks to me while I'm doing a meditative stretch. So I used to take yoga a while ago when I had a membership at the gym. And I used to take like this fitness class early in the morning before going to work. So I incorporated some of the stretching techniques from yoga and from that fitness class that I had. So you can go look up any type of positions. Oh my gosh. You can look up any type of positions if you want. But I'm not going to get fully into it because I want you guys to create it for yourselves. So what I do, I listen to the music while I'm stretching for that amount of time. After that, I go into this, it's a meditative stretch, but I start a prayer. So I do like a Hail Mary and an Our Father, and I start praying, I start thanking, I do gratitude prayers in the midst of that. I'm praying for everybody that I know, thanking God for the day, for having shelter and food and water and all these things. So what happens is usually when I'm in prayer, I tend to read, it's the same type of thing, but then sometimes I get led into something else. Sometimes God talks to me or I'm getting other messages from my guides or something. So this is up to you. I used to only do this for like 15, 30 minutes. I find myself being in prayer meditation for up to 2 hours every morning. Now you're probably thinking, oh my God, I don't have 2 hours. Think about it though. You don't want to rush. You want to give yourself ample time in the morning. And I'm not saying you have to do it for 2 hours. Just give yourself ample time in the morning to get this done. Because let me tell you, when I started to do this for a longer period of time, it really put me into a higher vibrational state. So when shit happens later on during the day, I am not, it doesn't affect me as much. It doesn't lower my vibration as much. Now, sometimes something hits me and my vibration will dip pretty low. However, I'm able to come out of that, and I'll talk about how I get out of that stuff, but it's a process. Okay, the more you do this, the more you will be able to come out of like a darker place, or when you start to doubt and your mind's like 8 of Swords, 9 of Swords type of energy, or you're feeling 5 of Cups. But so after that prayer meditation, I get up, I go wash up for the day, right? And I have music on the entire time. I'm brushing my teeth, I'm listening to music. I'm doing my facial regimen, I'm listening to music. I usually take showers at night. When I take a shower at night, I'm listening to music and I'm singing with it too. So music is a huge, huge part of my wellness routine, and you can manifest with music. It's an excellent manifestation tool. I personally believe it is the best one to use. Okay, now you don't have to listen to solfeggio frequencies if you don't want to. It's more of songs that lift you up. Like for me, what I listen to in the morning is this one song called You Give Me Something by James Morrison. It's an excellent rendition of his that he did acoustically. He did it when he first started being in the music scene, and it's one of my favorite versions of his song. So I listen to that one, and every morning, sometimes I'll switch it up, but usually I like to play something with acoustic guitar in it. Because for me, I play violin. I played since I was, in the 6th grade. I have a love of strings, and string instruments, they do something to your brain. I'm not going to get into it fully. You can look it up, as some of you already know. They're high frequency instruments. And if you think about when they talk about playing the harp in heaven, there's like these high frequency sounds being played up in the 5D. So with the vibration of these certain strings and the harmonization and the melodies and things like that, for me, it really helps with raising my vibration even more. So I tend to listen to something with guitar or something with strings in it while I am getting ready for the day. And so I usually do a facial regimen. If you're curious, I use Mineral Fusion products. They're very, very excellent products to use. I used to use high-end things like long time ago, like Elizabeth Arden or something like that. So I ended up doing something that was more, they're vegan, and, it has all of these, natural ingredients in it, like the scrub that I use. It's made of papaya enzymes. It's fantastic. I actually had an esthetician ask me what I was using, and she never heard of Mineral Fusion. It's a skin scrub with papaya enzymes in it. Can't remember the name, but I'm sure if you Google it, you'll be able to find it. But that's what I've been using for the past several years. So I use stuff like that. I do the scrub. I do a facial bar. I forgot what it was called because I changed it up. It used to be Light Touch from Lush, from the Lush store. That's an excellent place especially for face stuff. I use a facial bar after I do the scrub from Mineral Fusion, and then after that I do what's called oh my gosh, I keep forgetting what it's called. It's from Lush. It's called Bare Angels or something like that. If you type in the word angels in the search box in Lush, you will see that product. So I get the whole big canister of it, and I use that to scrub my face afterwards. So don't mind him. I should have known, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, so I use that. That's the third thing that I use for my facial regimen. After that, I use a Mineral Fusion moisturizer to moisturize the face. I do Derma E to do my eyes. It's made out of green tea for the eye cream. And I usually have a metal roller, and then I tap with my ring finger. I tap the eye serum underneath my eyes for that. And that's pretty much that with my face regimen, if you're curious. So then afterwards, I will go make my breakfast, and my breakfast consists of organic eggs, organic peppers, organic onions, diced organic onions, diced organic peppers, green peppers. I make an omelet out of that. And then I put Cholula sauce on it with cotija cheese. And after that, I have blueberries, strawberries, and pineapple for my fruit. And I have turkey bacon. That's what I have for breakfast every morning, provided that I'm not doing something else or my day gets wonky or something like that. Like actually, honestly, today, I didn't get to that because this week has been a crazy week for me at the time that I'm recording this. So it's a Friday. It's December 17th. So I kind of missed my breakfast. However, I do make it a point to make that type of breakfast every single morning. I pray over my food. I make sure I have my tea. I also brew tea while I'm cooking my breakfast. I have a glass of water with my breakfast. And then after the breakfast is completed, I have my tea. And then after that, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should redo this, but it doesn't matter. After I have my tea, then I go to work. If I don't have anything to do with my son, usually I check up on my son again. I check up on him in the morning, because he's here with me too. And I see how he's going to be doing for the day. If he wants breakfast, I'll give him breakfast, whatever he wants or something like that. And then I just check in with him. And after that, if I don't have any other appointments or anything to do, I go straight to do my mission work after that. So once that is done, sometimes I take breaks in between. It's been a little bit challenging since I've moved to kind of do the same schedule that I did when it was just me and my son when we live in our own house. So I'm still trying to adjust to something that it's a little bit more streamlined. But either way, I tend to take a break afterwards, and sometimes it's around dinner time that I will be ready to go. And after that, I'll have dinner with the family, or Julie and I would always have dinner together. And what our routine was back in Maryland was after dinner, we would go get bubble tea or whatever, or we would walk around the Rio in Gaithersburg, and we would do walks, hour walks. I still do those, but you know, it's the schedule here is different. I just actually had a walk today by myself. Actually, I'm usually walking with my mom or with my son, but my son's like, he got a new laptop, and that I manifested for him, that his dad gave him, and he's been trying out gaming with his friends on it, which is why you can hear him. So I let him pass for today, so I was able to finally have some downtime to myself to walk, because usually I would like to walk by myself too. And while I'm walking, I listen to music. Even when I'm walking with my mom and my son, I have my earbuds in, but the music's very low. I can still have conversations with my mom and my son, but I'm always having music. So you see the whole music thing piece of this. So I make sure that I do some sort of walk. I don't go to the gym anymore like I used to. I don't really run. I want to go back to doing those things, but I'm gonna have to wait on that for a little bit. But we do bike riding, but my bike and my son's bike are still in Virginia. So for the time being, I'm still incorporating the walk. Usually in Maryland, I would walk in state parks. I would go hiking. There's no hiking in Florida because it's completely flat. So I totally miss that stuff. That's one thing I really miss, because there's so much nature, so many hiking trails out on the mid-Atlantic, but I make the most of it. I do have the beach here, but I'm gonna have to be careful because my car is on the brink of, like, you know, its last days. So I don't want to be like stranded out there and have that whole mess. But usually I'll go to the beach and I'll sit there and just enjoy it. I haven't gotten in the water yet, and that's been crazy, but it's really cooled down here. So I don't know when I'm going to go back in there. But I tend to make a trip every now and again to try to go out there. But nowadays with, nowadays with my car, it's a little bit challenging. So aside from that, here there's the beach, but there aren't that many hiking trails. So I just take a walk around the neighborhood for now. I have to go look up other places where I can find other parks or trails around here, someplace other than the beach that I can go walk to. I still have to do that. But either way, being in nature is a big thing. When I was in Maryland, nature, I mean, I went to Great Falls. That was my favorite place to hike. I had this amazing place, this cliff, I think I talked about in one of the readings earlier this week. But being in nature really boosts my manifestation abilities, but more so it brings me closer to God. I mean, I get all these crazy messages, not crazy in a bad way, but the stuff that I am able to interpret. I listen, I can hear the animals speaking to me, and the water and the trees, everything. I'm getting all of these messages from everywhere, and it's so serene. It's so incredibly peaceful. And when you're immersed in that type of environment, it really puts you in a completely different place. And once you walk away from that, like, you feel like a completely different person. So that was a big thing for me. And for here, I'm trying to figure out how to, get back to that, or find some place that will have the same effect. But either way, wherever you are, find some place where there is nature around. I mean, if you've got a beach near you, go to do that or something. Try to go during sunrise or something. But if you've got hiking trails and parks, go out in nature. I cannot stress enough the nature part of this. I did a lot of that, especially when I went through my awakening phase. And I would really get a ton of messages while I would be out in nature, and it's very calming. And I would listen to music too. Music, hiking, everywhere. I'd be at the beach, I'd listen to music. Music is everywhere. When I'm driving to the supermarket, I'm listening to music. When I'm driving to an appointment, I'm listening. When I clean the bathroom, when I do my laundry, if it's my turn to cook, I am listening to music, something. Music is such a huge part of my life. Now, that doesn't mean you start to listen. You listen to angry music or sappy music that's going to make you all grumpy and mopey. Don't listen to that stuff. It's not going to help you. Okay, so have a playlist like that revs you up. I remember I used to have all these different playlists for when I used to go to the gym. I mean, crap. It's like I got really fit at some point, and that music was really fueling me. It's like pushing me to continue on and kind of step up my game when it came to weight training and things like that, and my sprints on the treadmill, things like that. So if you go to the gym, make these playlists with this. Like, I mean, if you're curious to know what I use for the gym, you can always email me and I can tell you what my handle is on Spotify, and I can go send you, or you can go, I'll send you the playlist, or I can just tell you to look up what playlist it is. But music is a really, 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 really important part with boosting your manifestation and your wellness. So I try to incorporate that, everything. That's my superpower. To be completely honest, the music part of all of this in my life is my superpower. It's what really, really, I think it keeps me young. I think it keeps me calibrated. I think it keeps me in a high vibrational state. Now, when my vibration dips, and I know some of you, when I talk to you, it's like, oh gosh, guys, when I text you, something's going on, I'm getting these negative thoughts or whatever. I have my support system to help me, but then I also change my mindset. I am able to better catch when I am negatively thinking something. Now, again, this is going to take some time for some of you if you aren't there yet. It took me quite a few years to catch myself. When my vibration would lower, I would have these negative thoughts. And then I would come in and start saying some affirmations or start saying some prayers like, God, help me get back to balance, or help me, give me the strength that I need to do this, or help me to have these positive thoughts. And then I was like, you know, I am well, all is well, all these other things, right? Whatever. Think of something positive. Change it up, because you have to be cognizant of what your thoughts are, because remember, your thoughts create your reality. So if you're having these negative thoughts, make sure that, and again, it's a work in progress. It's going to take some time for you to catch yourself. And when that happens, think of something positive. Go listen to music. Sometimes, nope, I got to put on a song. I got to put on some song. I know it's going to get me back up there, and I'm golden, and I'm right back up where I was before that hit. And you know, sometimes I could be picking up somebody else's energies when that happens, because there could be something that didn't occur to cause me to lower my vibration. And that means usually that I'm picking it up from somebody else. And even so, I have to make sure that I protect my energies, and I go listen to that song that I want to listen to, that raises my vibration, that pumps me up. I start to clear, cancel, release the thoughts that I have in my head. That's an excellent way of doing it. As soon as those thoughts come into your head, say clear, cancel, release these thoughts. I now replace them with positive thoughts. And you start putting that positivity back into your mindset. And when you do that, then your body starts to feel a lot better. Because remember, with those negative thoughts and that stuff, it affects everything. Okay, so you have to make sure that you keep you're in an abundant mindset. You're in a positive mindset, okay? So what was the other thing? So yeah, even and then my nightly routine. I usually take showers at night. So I have a portable waterproof speaker, and I play some sort of song. Usually it's guitar. Sometimes it's got or strings in it, or what my favorite is a combination of guitar with strings. Oh my goodness, that's my absolute favorite. So I try to incorporate string stuff. Sometimes I'll listen to a Backstreet Boys song or something else, you know. You can pick something, but something that you can sing to, something that it's going to raise your vibration, right? Don't pick something where you're going to be crying in the shower. And no, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you may need to cry in the shower, and that's okay. If you feel like you need to release stuff, that's the other thing. Don't hold it in. Don't think that you're, you know, it's like, no, that's weak. You know, I'm not going to cry or whatever. That's bullshit. No, don't do that, because you're a human being. You have emotions. You can't keep your feelings in. It's like the Capricorn reading when I talked about the King of Cups. The shadow side of the King of Cups is he suppresses it so much. The feminine energy is blocked off, and that raises a distorted masculine energy. And that's not a pleasant energy to be in. That's anger and bitterness and having a temper and things like that. So you could fall into a depression the other side, right? So withdrawn that you fall into an abyss. So don't pent up those emotions. So if you feel like you got to go cry or something, go to the restroom, go take the shower and cry in there, or go in your car and do it. While you're walking, you know, sometimes I would take a walk and something would hit me and I had to release something, and I'm getting emotional in the middle of my walk, even when I'm listening to some music. So allow yourself to purge, guys. Don't sit there and think that you don't have any emotions to release, because you do. It is not a sign of weakness. You have to clear stuff out if you want more light to come in, if you want more positive energy to come in, okay? So as I said with my shower routine, I always listen to music. Lately, it's been something with guitar. It'll either be a Red song, the band Red, or the Chris Cornell version, Thank You, which is absolutely fantastic. If I can just have acoustic guitar and vocals, I'm good to go. So then after that, sometimes I may, usually I like to do that shower after I complete any other client readings or any of my other zodiac readings or any other recordings that I'm doing. I like to have my shower as the last thing. So make sure if you've got something else to do, make sure that, and then maybe you now don't take showers at night, so that may not apply to everyone, but make sure whatever it is that you're doing at the end of the day, get all the other activity stuff done. Leave that shower, leave the book reading, leave the winding down for the last thing of the day, okay? And make sure that you have some sort of adequate sleep. Now, I will admit, I've been only getting 5 hours of sleep-ish the entire week, which is not really my normal sleeping amount of time. It's maybe 7 to 8, but I feel completely rested. And usually I can tell because when I'm doing the readings that I do, and if you guys watch me, I go into some other dimension, and that requires a tremendous amount of energy. And even all the things that I do, I still have energy left over. And even with a 5-hour sleep, I mean, I am dead asleep. No shifting, no waking up. I have no recollection sometimes of when I go to sleep and when the time the alarm wakes up, oh wow, it's time for me to wake up. Okay, sometimes I get into a very heavy, deep dream state or whatever, but even with small amount of hours, I think I got 4 last night, and I was just out. And I woke up, but then I had a phone call, and then I went back to sleep for an hour, but I was calibrated enough. So usually that ties into what you're eating. You know, I don't drink coffee. I'm not a coffee person. This is not to knock on the coffee people. That's your choice, okay? But I do not do coffee whatsoever. I do not get my energy from it. It's a stimulant. A lot of people end up crashing. I feel that tea is healthier. So maybe some of you may want to switch to tea if you're curious. I have not been a coffee person ever, to be honest with you. So I'm always like drinking some sort of herbal tea or something like that. What I'm drinking now in the morning is Moroccan mint tea coupled with strawberry moringa tea from David's Tea. I blend the two and I brew it for 10 minutes in the morning. That's my cup in the morning. And in the evening, because of the coughing thing, what I've been realizing is I mix eucalyptus mint tea. You can use any eucalyptus mint tea and Yogi's Breathe Deep tea. Let's say if you guys have a cold or something, blend those two together. That really helps with respiratory health. And of course, there's like other stuff or whatever. Just watch out for the allergens and things like that. But I've upped my tea intake to 4 cups of tea. And sometimes I drink like 16 ounces of tea per cup, per whatever you call it. So I guess what is that if you want to do the math? Something came up on my phone. Anyway, it can be like 8. You can have a cup of tea, which is 8 ounces, or you can have 1 sitting of tea, which is 16 ounces. Usually all of my sittings are 16 ounces these days. I went from having 2 cups a day to 4. I just started doing that. So I'm trying to see if that's going to actually do anything. I'm kind of experimenting. But I feel like my body's needing more tea. And also over time, your body's going to start to reject certain foods, okay? There's certain fast food places I can no longer eat. Can't eat Chipotle anymore. I can't eat salmon anymore. I'm starting to have something with shrimp, it seems. There's a whole bunch of other things that I can't eat. So don't get disappointed if your body starts to reject food because your body's changing. And certain foods it doesn't need or it doesn't want anymore. So, you know, maybe you'll end up liking other foods that you didn't like before or something like that. but tea is a really, really big thing for me. And I like to have like at least 2 cups before I go to bed. Now, I don't have a big effect with caffeine because I know green tea has caffeine in it, but be careful with the matcha or the sencha. The sencha one has a lot of caffeine in it, so just be careful. But sometimes people don't get affected by caffeine. You have to determine that for yourself. Usually caffeine and tea does not really mess me up. I can have that before bed and I sleep like a baby. So, yeah, that's usually for my nightly routine. I'll do that. And, I also do a gratitude journal. I'm starting to do that after I get ready for the day. I go sit at my altar and I say a little prayer, and then I start doing my gratitude journal, thanking God for what I have now and thanking God for the things I don't have already. That is a huge part of manifestation, guys, especially when you're praying to God. Thank you, God, for the new car. Thank you, God, for the new house. Thank you, God, for, helping me recover from this illness. Thank you for saving me from this. If you're thanking God for something before he gives it to you, that is boosting your faith that God is going to do it. And that's also boosting your manifestation abilities. That really sends that off to the universe. And you're like, oh, they're starting to believe that they already have it. And I know it's hard because I have some people say, I can't pretend. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work. It doesn't work if you don't believe in it, if you don't try it, right? Can't knock it till you try it. So with that gratitude journal, I start to write down after the things I write down that I already have in my life. I start thanking God for the things that I don't have already. And make sure you use the I am presence. Like today, I am grateful because I am now a millionaire. Today, I'm grateful because I am now the owner of a mansion, type of thing like that. You can put down anything, but you have to have the feeling that you have it already. You have to start visualizing that stuff. Now, here's the other thing with manifestation. I realized that I was trying to manifest things for years until God said, God, I got to meditation. I prayed to God. I said, God, why hasn't this manifested? Am I doing something wrong? He goes, you're not doing anything wrong. It's because you're manifesting that's something that's not for your highest good. And sometimes it had to deal with money, okay? And he's like, Jess, I'm trying to get you to see something. You're going to attract the abundance. I need to get you away from that because there is the lack mentality, right? Now, there isn't anything wrong with saying, today I'm grateful because I am a millionaire, like I just said, or I'm abundant. I am abundant enough to purchase anything that I want, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, apparently I was putting all these numbers and it was focusing too much on the money piece when I needed to get myself into alignment with that. And what God was telling me was, he said, Jess, you're shooting too low. And I thought I was aiming high. And he's like, I have something better than that. I said, are you serious? Yes, I have something better than that. So God's plan is always better than ours. It's always bigger than ours. And what God wants in our lives, it's way more than we can imagine. So we have to allow God to do his work and to make that plan come to fruition. We just got to be in alignment with it, and we're obedient. As long as we're obedient, we're doing our mission work, we're doing what God has asked us to, we're taking care of ourselves, right? Making sure you're in tune with the earth and you're praying and you're meditating, however you want to meditate. Again, just listening to music is meditation. So that's the thing what I realized with manifestation, because God's like, you're asking for this and I want to give you this. Like my hands are outside the screen. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, sometimes some of you are kind of wondering, how come I haven't manifested this yet? The bigger the manifestation, the longer it takes. You also have to take into account the people who are involved in what you're trying to manifest, especially if you're manifesting like a husband, a wife, a family, right? That takes other people, okay? You have to let them live their life, have them go through their journey. You got to live your life and go through your journey. You pay off your karmic debt, they pay off their karmic debt, everyone else involved. There's even like when you get the house, the realtor you're gonna work with to get the house, the person you're gonna interact with when you buy the car, where that person could give you like a bigger discount than some other guy that would than some other guy at the lot that may not be as generous as the other salesman. You see what I'm saying? This has happened to me time and time again, where I would be at the right place at the right time for something, and I would get better than what I was expecting. Okay. So, you have to allow God to work his magic. And you just got to go with the flow with that, right? No forcing, no trying to push something. Force creates resistance, right? So just allow yourself to accept things for the way they are and allow God to work the magic in your life. And you'll start to see all these miracles. And like, miracles can be very small, guys. They can be very small. But when you start to see those, they're leading up to the bigger manifestations. They're leading up to the bigger miracles. And sometimes you have to lose everything to gain those bigger things, right? Because you've got to make that space. So, if you feel like you're having to let go of things or God takes things away, don't get angry, don't get all belligerent, because if you look at it from a bigger picture, from a higher perspective, you're going to start to realize, well, I want all these things, and all these things are huge. And they're things you didn't have before. So think about the space, the environment that you were in when you had those things. And now that you have released those things, or God's telling you to let go, get rid of those things, to sacrifice those things or whatever, you're making room for the bigger stuff that you didn't have before. So think about that. And sometimes God has to literally move you to a bigger state or a bigger city or whatever, so that the energy is there for all of those manifestations to come in. Okay? So that's another thing. I went off into a tangent there, but when I was talking about my nightly routine, because I forgot about my gratitude journal, usually I will go to sleep with a certain song. I used to do that a lot. I used to listen to a lot of solfeggio frequencies when I was clearing my heart chakra and I was going through my awakening process, my ascension. And we're always ascending, right? But when I really started to let go of my 3D self, that was some crazy shit. Going through the dark night of the soul and stuff like that. And if you're going through the dark night of the soul, let that happen, guys. You've got to let that deep, dark stuff just remove, escape from your system. Okay, because that's your old programming, so that you can have more of your enlightened self emerge. So at night, I'll listen to music, or I'll admit, sometimes I would go watch a video chat from my counterpart with some messages that he sent me years ago. Because sometimes if I'm going to bed and then something starts to creep in my head, and I'll start watching a particular video that he sent with some words of inspiration, some encouragement, and I'll do that, and then I'll listen to my music and say a prayer, and I'll go to sleep, and I'm out for the night, and then I'll redo that stuff every now and again. I also try to incorporate some time, with my son. We're trying to find things to do here because it's very different. Things like that. We'll try to, we'll play games, but now he's like so excited because he's got this new gaming laptop, and he got a new gaming headset for his PlayStation, and he's just like, he got some Christmas gifts early. So I'm letting him do some of that. But, we try to walk together and try to do these other activities. Since I'm with family, I'll, spend time with my aunt, my grandparents or something. We'll try to do things together, stuff like that. I'm trying to add more of that, but it's kind of like trying to get into a more smooth rhythm here since I'm here with my parents. And it's like a work in progress, when I'm getting there. And, sometimes, I help out here, and the dinner conversations with my parents are pretty entertaining and stuff like that. So it's nice to kind of be around that again, because it's been a very long time. I've been away from here for 18 and a half years. So that's how long I was in Maryland for. And it's kind of surreal that I'm back where I started in a sense, but it's a whole new cycle. But anyway, I think that's pretty much it. I really hope that helped you. Just, I don't know. My guides were like, go ahead and, talk about your wellness routine. I guess, some people may be curious. But again, You can create the routine however you want. It's your life, it's your health, it's your well-being. But hopefully what I had suggested or what I shared with you helps you. So I'm going to pull a card, 100 ways to switch off digital detox. And here's the other thing. Watch the social media, guys. The phones are really, really, wow, they already came out with messages. The phones are really doing a lot of us in. Okay, go read a book, do candle gazing. You guys watch my videos, and that's why I do the wellness portion with my wellness ties to tell you what your wellness tips are. Okay, make sure you treat yourself too. I actually did that today. I went to pick up pizza for me and my son, and I drove past these women who were setting up these little shops outside of a boutique. And I saw a crystal necklace there, and I drove past, and my guide said, pull over, pull in the parking lot and go back over there. And I met some people there, and they invited me to go to this event. It's like it's a crystal shop or whatever, and they're having this like Christmas event there. So I plan on stopping by there and kind of like, you know, trying to engage with people who like what I'm doing. Because the lady that I've actually bought this necklace from her, and she's a single mom too. So my guys, they wanted me to support her, and they wanted me, I was thinking of buying myself a Christmas gift, and I got a couple of things from her, and she was all excited about it. And we had this conversation, and she said, you should come out tomorrow. And, you know, that's so cool that you have a spiritual wellness business and things like that. And it was really neat. So it could be a possibility where we can partner together, because she makes these incredible manifestation candles and jars and things. And the way she did it is very, very clever. I'll have to like leave a link somewhere for her. But anyway, yeah, like do things for you. And I told myself today, I didn't do much of my mission work today like I wanted. My God's like, Jess, you got to take some time out for yourself. And I took it easy. I cranked out some things today, just finishing up some of the Zodiac stuff that I put out earlier, and just had to go with the flow, right? And then I did something for myself, and lo and behold, I ran into those two women over there, and I bought a really awesome handmade wooden Christmas ornament from this other lady, and very, very, very beautiful people. So it was nice, and I felt better that I was supporting handmade artists, because I used to have a jewelry business, and the girl I was talking to who made this necklace for me, she goes, you got to get back into it. All my stuff is at my sister's, and I have to try to see, I need to go write down how I'm going to incorporate that too, because I used to make jewelry myself, and I still have some of my materials, which I can put up for sale on my shop, and I can, you know, infuse it with prayer and all these other things. And, you know, it could be part of the wellness, right? The crystal bracelets and things or whatever, or the necklaces. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. So again, there's a lot of stuff, but hopefully I helped you. So we have a couple of cards for tips on how to digitally detox, guys. So the first one is try and think back to your very first memory. Where were you? Who were you with? And how did you feel? This is crazy, because day 5 of my Christmas videos was going to be, what is your person's favorite memory? Or maybe even yours. So that's what this card says. I was actually thinking about this on my walk today. This is nuts. That's nuts. Okay, the other one is take a walk along the beach or through the woods and hunt for natural treasures. See what I'm saying? See what I mean? I told you. Look through old photographs and sort some pictures to hang up on the wall. This is a nice one. Like one of those collages, something you string them up and put lights on them. Not the paper clips, the clothespins, right? That's an excellent idea. And the last one is try drawing a selfie instead of snapping one. Oh my God. Maybe we should all try this and see what it looks like. I would laugh. I'm not the best drawer. My son's an excellent artist. But maybe draw a picture of yourself instead of taking it. It's funny because for me, at some point, I did not like taking selfies. It was like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. It's like for this video, I was like, do I need to put makeup on? I'm like, no, I'm going to wear my National Lampoon's Christmas shirt and sit in front of the TV and just talk, right? But anyway, the bottom of the deck, let me see. Rearrange an area in your home. Try creating a cozy corner. There is no phone stuff in here, ladies and gentlemen. So you've got some ideas. Be creative. Tap into your creative side, okay? Watch the phone stuff. And yes, I know I'm doing these on YouTube, but these are wellness tips, okay? Wow, that was longer than I thought. You see what happens? It's a lot. It's a lot of work. It's a lot to get yourself into a routine. Alrighty. Again, hopefully this helps you, and I will see you guys for day 5 tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. All right, guys, have a fantastic evening, day, night, morning, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you guys. Bye.